Have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, being exposed by the New York Post. And if you want to read that article for yourself, I'll link to that in the description box below so you're able to see everything for yourself and not just take my word for it. But in that article, there's all kind of things mentioned there. There's a treasure trove of information. You got crack pipes, sex tapes, emails between Hunter and Ukrainian officials talking about Joe and talking about money, all kind of stuff. This all stems from Hunter Biden's laptop. You know, elephant in the room, these Democrat guys and the laptops are out of control. You already got Anthony Weiner getting hemmed up with a laptop and Huma Abedin and Hillary Clinton with the emails. Now you have Hunter Biden. What happened was the laptop was sent to a repair shop and never picked up. The bill was like $85 for data recovery. Not really sure why you wanted to recover the crack pipes and the sex tape, but I digress. The laptop was just sitting there, never got picked up. After repeated attempts to get Hunter to pick it up, it just never got picked up. So the store owner alerted the FBI of the laptop's existence, because if you're doing data recovery, you probably see what's on the laptop. Okay, you might see the crack pipe and some emails. So if you got something like that in your shop, you might want to tell somebody. So the federal agents came and got it back in December. However, before the store owner gave it to the feds, he made a copy of the hard drive and he gave that hard drive to Rudy Giuliani's lawyer. So now Giuliani has it and Bannon knows about it. Steve Bannon knows about it. So Bannon tells the New York Post about the tape's existence in September of this year. And Giuliani or his lawyer gives the hard drive to the New York Post on Sunday, like this Sunday. So now we have it. There's a whole lot to quote unquote unpack here, as the cool kids would say. And I'm gonna go back a little bit before anything that's on this hard drive. Let's go back to Hunter being in the military. He was in the Navy Reserve back, I think he got in there in 2012. Well, in 2013, he failed a drug test. Okay, it came up positive for cocaine. That's a widely known thing. Everybody knowing he was on drugs. You know, Trump brought it up at the debate, and Joe Biden acknowledged it, talking about, yeah, my son dealt with addiction. So it's no secret. Everybody know you got a problem with drugs. Maybe he's sober now, but he at one point was not sober. He failed a drug test in 2013 and he was discharged in February of 2014. It was not a dishonorable discharge. It was an administrative discharge. So that's the key thing to know. But in May of 2014, after he was discharged from the military because of the cocaine, here comes an executive from Burisma Holdings over in Ukraine. I don't know his name specifically. I can't pronounce it. I'll just say V, because that's what he signed his email as, is V. But anyway, the email saying, hey, how can we work together? How can you use your influence to help our company, Burisma Holdings? Now, 1 year after that email, I think that email was in May 2014 and April of 2015. Here's a thank you email from that same guy talking about, hey, thanks for introducing us to your father. Really appreciate spending time. Hey, you know, I got to leave tomorrow. I can come by again for coffee to your office. What you want to do? So this is all on Hunter Biden's laptop. These are emails between him and a Ukrainian official. Now, Joe Biden said that he never spoke to Hunter about any of his Ukraine business dealings, right? But apparently that's a lie, according to the emails. If the emails are authentic, if the emails are real, that's a lie. There's also a picture of Hunter and Joe and a Ukrainian oil exec or Burisma Holdings exec. And if I could find that, I'll place that on the screen before you. Remember that came out, it might have been last year. Look at this photograph from Nickelback. Remember that? That was that whole thing. So was that picture from 2015 when they had the meeting where you got the email saying, thank you for that, I appreciate it? I don't know, but I digress. Moving ahead to December of 2015, that's when the prosecutor Shokin was fired and Joe Biden went to the CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations. It might have been in 2018, and he was bragging about that. He was saying, hey, if you don't fire the prosecutor, you won't get this $1 billion in loans from the United States. Because remember, this is all going on when Joe Biden was vice president of the U.S. of A. and a special envoy to Ukraine. He had been to Kiev, Ukraine, 13 to 14 or more times before the December trip when he was successful in getting the prosecutor Shokin fired. All right. Now, Joe Biden said, well, he was a corrupt guy. We all wanted him fired. That was a national thing, this, that, and the third. Well, it just so happens that Shokin was investigating Burisma Holdings, the company that emailed Hunter Biden about, hey, how can you use your influence? And that's the same company that hired him on the board, getting paid 50 grand a month. Now, you have no experience in oil or energy or anything like that, and you get put on the board of a foreign company getting paid 50 grand a month, all right? And you just got discharged from the military because of your cocaine, right? Now, that ties into the pictures of the cocaine and all that good stuff, all right? There's a picture of Hunter with a crack pipe in his mouth. Now, I put it on my Instagram page. People say, oh, you don't sleep on crack. Well, at a certain point, you might want to sleep. He might have been on a bender 3 or 4 days not sleeping, and then he tried to get that one last hit. You try to beam up right quick, but it didn't really work, and he fell asleep right there with it in his mouth. All right? They said it could have been meth or whatever, but it probably was crack. I mean, it makes sense. You were discharged from the military for a cocaine positive test, and there's a sex tape, allegedly. I've not seen it, but the New York Post says it's there, of him smoking crack while engaging in a sex act. All right, so that's out there. So if you add 2 and 2 together, this is probably a crack pipe. He probably was trying to smoke crack and fell asleep or something to that extent. So that's there. And there is a lot more on the laptop as far as any kind of drug use or whatnot. It all kind of makes sense. Now, if you are a person that was discharged from the military because of your cocaine use, if you have a laptop with yourself smoking crack, if you're not even competent enough to wipe your laptop before you give it over to a repair shop and then don't even pick it up, it's like, okay, if you leave in the laptop with that kind of data on it and you're doing data recovery, what are you thinking about? You're an incompetent person. If you are an incompetent person that at one point or currently, either one, was a crackhead, how can you be on the board of Burisma Holdings? What are you there for? Obviously, there's some corruption going on. That's pretty clear. All right. Your dad's a vice president. You're using him for political favor. The guy that was looking into the company you're working for, he gets fired. I mean, come on. And there's also some money from China. I think it was like, 2.5 million or more. I'm not sure of the exact number, but you guys in the comments, you guys will be able to tell me how much money Hunter and or Joe Biden got from the Chinese Communist Party and or just China itself. So what's really going on? They want to say, when I say they, I mean the mainstream media and the general left, the blue check mafia on Twitter, Instagram and whatnot. They say that Trump is involved with the Russians and he's getting money from the Russians and Russia this, Russia that. He asked Russia, can you interfere with the election? Same thing with China, with no evidence of that. Here you have Hunter Biden with a whole laptop with emails on it that specifically state, hey, how can you help us with your influence with your father? Hey, thanks for meeting us. Linking your father and I together, we appreciate it. You got Joe saying, I never did anything like that, but you got emails to prove otherwise, pictures to prove otherwise. If this were Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr., can you imagine the headlines? This wouldn't be swept under the rug. This would not be a small story. It wouldn't just be me covering it. It would be a really big thing. I think what's going to happen right now is that the mainstream media will pretty much ignore the story. Sweep it under the rug. It's not really a big deal. We're focused on Amy Coney Barrett, all this, that, and the third. This is a humongous story. Remember when Donald Trump Jr. spoke at the RNC and he had like slightly red eyes? What did the media, even the media, put out that he probably was on cocaine, booger sugar, whatever. It's like, really? You putting that out there that he might be on drugs because he has red eyes? Meanwhile, you got a whole crack pipe in Hunter Biden's mouth. What are they going to say about that? Oh, don't, he had an addiction. It's okay. Leave him alone. Nah, If you're a crackhead, that's one thing. But if you're a crackhead on Burisma Holdings, a foreign company in Ukraine, you getting 50 grand a month to be on the board, and you having your dad as a vice president bully Ukraine into doing certain things that are going to benefit the company you work for. I mean, come on. Can we get some charges or something going here? Shout out to Steve Bannon for telling New York Post about this, and shout out to Giuliani for putting it out there. You guys are great patriots. We need more people like you. And hopefully there's some action that happens as a result of this. Some heads got to roll. You got to get Hunter. You got to nail him for sure. And what about Joe? This could be some quid pro quo. I wonder if Joe got any of that money that Hunter Biden got, or if he got his own pot of gold to do the whole thing about removing Shokin from power. So as I close, I want to say this. Hunter Biden on drugs, a known crackhead, allegedly, at one point, allegedly. Why would you put him on the board? Can we ask him some questions? Can we, talk to him a little bit, get an interview, and have him explain these emails and the pictures? I would love to know what's going on, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Hunter Biden has some explaining to do? Okay, you got the crack pipe, you got the emails. How about his father, Joe? You going to Ukraine, getting the prosecutor fired. Why? Is it because he was corrupt, or is it because your son asked you to? You say never talked to Hunter about his business dealings, yet the emails prove otherwise. Pictures prove otherwise. So can we get down to the truth or no? Am I a conspiracy theorist? Am I just blown out of proportion? Am I just, am I being too judgmental of Hunter Biden and the crack pipe? Am I not being sensitive enough? And, am I just trying to do this because it's a politically motivated thing? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.